Hello, everybody, and welcome to Celebration. We're so glad you chose to be with us today. It's going to be a great program. We are coming to you live from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I'm standing here on the grounds of the Jimmy Swaggart Bible College, home of Sun Life Radio, and so much more. Our special guest today is Dr. Gabriel Swaggart. You don't want to miss this program. He's been on the show before, one of the most requested guests, and we're coming back today in person this time. You don't want to miss it. We'll be back in just a moment.
From the Building of Faith, welcome to Celebration, a Christian talk and variety show with outreaches across the world via television, radio, internet, and social media. You'll hear from today's leading authors, preachers, singers, evangelists, songwriters, and local Christian leaders. Now here's your host, President and founder of Journey Network, Dr. J.T. Guyton.
A Jimmy Swaggart crusade story.
Oh, I can't wait to hear these. I love hearing these now. I love hearing
this. This is the truth. So your grandfather was either in Mobile or Pensacola, which both of those are an hour from our house. I was like between 1 and 2 years old.
Oh my goodness.
So my mom, my dad, and some of their friends are walking there in the Civic Center there. And one of the ushers is walking them trying to find a seat. I've heard this story from my mom, my dad, the family that was with them. They get near the front of the platform. Your grandfather is standing.
Yeah.
As most people would know. I guess they would do praise and worship, then he would come out.
He would come out.
And so he's standing doing his thing, and he noticed them. And your grandfather tells that usher, he said, "Sir," he said, "would you get that lady with that baby and those people and bring them up here on the stage?"
Oh, wow.
He said, "Set them up here." He said, "There's no need, and you keep walking around."
Oh, wow.
And of course, we were always, my parents were, and then I grew up listening, but I thought that's the coolest story.
You know, my grandfather was known for doing stuff like that. People don't realize, how kind that he was.
Yeah.
I'll give you a story on that. Right down the road here, there's a place called Life Share Center. It's you draw blood and stuff like that.
Okay.
So I went there to release, donate some blood, whatever it was. And a lady that was working there at the time, she saw my license. Of course, I had to show it to her, and she said, "Swaggart." She said, it was right after my grandfather passed, and she said, "Are you related to Brother Swaggart?" And I said, "Yes, ma'am." And she started crying. And I said, "Is everything okay?" And she said, "Well, nobody knows, and nobody will ever know this. But I was working at McDonald's, just right down the road here. I was a single mom. I had nothing.
Okay.
Nothing. I had some relatives that they were able to put their kids in your school at Family Christian Academy, right across the street.
Yeah.
And I wanted my daughter to have a good education.
Sure.
I wanted my daughter to have a good private school education, a good Christian education, because the public schools around here, they're awful. I mean, every one of them here in the city of Baton Rouge are failing grades, all of them. And so she's like, I have no prospects. I have no hope, nothing. She said, your grandfather would come through McDonald's every single morning to get a biscuit, and that was his routine. And she said, I was behind the counter, and I knew it the moment that when I would ask, can I take your order through the window? When I hear his voice, I know it was him. Wow. And she said, I just want to take a chance. And when he pulled around, she asked him, she said, Brother Swaggart, you don't know me. But she told him her story. I'm a single mom.
Yeah.
My daughter's got no prospects. She was, I think, 5 or 6 at the time. And she said, I want my daughter to have a good education, but I can't afford it. I just want to take a shot. Is there any way that maybe I'll pay for it little by little, as much as I can, but I want my daughter to go to FCA for a little bit. Our grandfather looked at her and said, when do you get off work? She told him, come by my office.
Wow.
She sat down, and of course she's nervous.
Yeah.
She walked into the office and sat down across from our grandfather. And she's just shaking. And she said that your grandfather listened to my story. picked up a phone, called the academy,
Wow.
and said, enroll this young daughter and allow them to pay very little because I want them to be there.
Wow.
And when she told me that, and I started crying, she started crying, and she told me, she said, you know, Gabe, nobody will ever know the kind of person, the kind of man that he was. I don't know him, but I knew him from that. And that one moment made an impact on my life. And I sat there and listened to that, and there's been so many stories throughout the years that people have come and they've shared their stories, kind of like what you just shared, that nobody will ever know.
Sure.
Nobody will ever know, but nobody would ever really know the man that he was. And I don't know what it's like. You know, I'm 46, just made 46 a few months ago. This is the first time in my life that I don't have him. And that's been the most difficult transition, not having him.
How we preach this, we help other people. How are you dealing with grief? How are you making it through this?
You see, I've told our people at Family Worship Center and through Sunlight Broadcasting Network, we don't get to grieve like everybody else. Because, you know, the work keeps going.
Sure.
So I find my moments. I've got my moments where I grieve.
Sure.
I have to preach through the pain. I have to lead through the pain. And I'm having to try to figure out a lot of things without him. And he's always been my biggest supporter. He's always been my mentor.
Sure.
He's the one that I've always bounced ideas off, and I don't have him anymore to do that. And there have been many times after he would pass, this desk is his.
Oh, wow.
And so I actually used to play on this desk when I was a kid. This was at his house. My brother and I would crawl underneath here when we were kids, and so I would be times where I'll be sitting behind my desk and I'd have a question. I'm like, man, I need to go ask Papa, and I'd get my keys and stand up, and I realize I can't do it. And that's been one of the hardest things to have to go through. And we just have we have to find the time, and I have to find my time to grieve, and there are moments that I do it. And I try not to do it publicly. I try to do it privately.
Sure.
And nothing wrong with it publicly, but I just try to do I have my times. I've got my moments.
The good news is, as you know,
we know where he is.
We know where he is, but you're going to see him again. And my goodness, when I think about the hope of heaven, man, it makes everything we deal with on this earth
worth it.
It does. It does.
It's worth it.
Because we have to keep plowing on, as one old preacher said. We just keep going, and we keep going. Your grandfather said a lot of times, I heard him say this, I think it may have came from his grandmother, God is a big God, so ask big. How do you plan to run with that, sir?
Well, that's something that he ingrained in me as a child. And that's something that I have lived off of and continue to live off of even now. I learned something from him you can't teach. But what I learned from him is dream big. I look at everything that we have on this property. My grandfather was a visionary. He was somebody who dreamed big, who believed big. He didn't limit God.
That's right.
He didn't limit God.
No.
And I know a lot of believers that limit God, and I have just I've just placed it in my mind that I'm not going to limit God. And so when I see things, and I was talking to our church on Sunday, I just did a little vision casting. You can find it on YouTube, and it's called I See a Church. And I begin to explain to them the church that I see. Not the church that we have now, but a church that I see. I can see it, and it's like I sit here, here at the college in my office, and I don't see the college for what it is. I see it for what it's going to be.
Amen.
And I know what God's told me regarding this college. And I know that we'll get to that in a moment, but I know what he's going to do. It's not going to be easy.
Right.
It never is easy.
Right.
But I know what He's called us to do, and I know what He's going to do.
Sure.
And I can see it.
Sure.
And so when I took over this place, this one thing I said, I know where we're going.
Mm-hmm.
I may not know how to get there, but I know where we're going.
Amen. Right.
And so I kind of live that. I live with that. I know what I see, and I know where we're going. I'm not in that place to fulfill it yet, but I will.
Yeah. You are that next generation, and you can't. The things your grandfather did were for him.
Right.
So Gabriel Swaggart, as a minister, has to have that walk for himself, just like we all do. But that legacy helps us a little bit, carry it a little lighter, I guess.
You know, it does. I wouldn't say it carries lighter. I think it's heavier, I think, with every generation.
Well, there you go.
But I'll say it this way. My grandfather's, I'm biased when I say this.
Sure.
He's the greatest evangelist that's ever lived.
Sure.
Greatest evangelist, bar none, that's ever lived.
Wow.
Probably has reached more people than anybody that's ever stood behind a platform.
Agree.
My dad's an evangelist.
Sure.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I've never been one.
Yeah.
I can function as one, and I've functioned in that role at times.
Yeah.
But I'm a pastor at heart. I love people. I love being around people.
A pastor has to have a heart for that, doesn't he?
You have to. And one of the things that I want to see in our church is growth.
Yeah.
Not numerically. I want to see it spiritually. I want to see them grow. I want to see them fulfilled in their walk with the Lord. And I want to see there's I don't know if I should even get into this, but there's 4 things that I kind of in my doctoral program that I came up with.
Sure.
It's really being a Christ-centered leader, and it comes with 4 prongs. You got to be transformational. You got to be strategic in your decision making. You've got to be an agent of change, but you've got to be a servant.
Wow.
And these things, I want to see those 4 pillars instilled within our people.
Yeah.
I want them to be transformational because they've been transformed themselves.
Sure.
I want them to be a strategic decision maker, because God was the ultimate strategic decision maker.
Right.
I want them to be an agent of change. I want them to be servants.
Sure.
And so I want to instill those things. And that's why I'm a pastor at heart. I love people, and I love being around people.
We were mentioning the Crusades earlier.
Yeah.
Do you think, in your honest personal opinion, the day and time in which we live, we've always had hard times. Things have always been rough. I mean, every generation has dealt with those things. Do you think we will ever get to that place again where we will see those kind of meetings where people will run to the altar and say, I want what you're preaching about?
I think so. I don't know when.
Yeah.
I mean, I say that because the Scripture is very clear that God is going to save the best for last. And I believe that we're right in that precipice where we've had a lot of difficult things that we've gone through. And I think the world is ready, but not quite ready yet.
I got you.
But I do believe that there's going to come a time where we're going to see that. More than what we've ever seen before. I do believe that.
Yeah.
Have you ever wondered what heaven will be like? Heaven, an Amazing Place by my uncle Dr. J.T. Guyton answers many of your questions and gives biblical insight into our future home. What will be in heaven? What won't be in heaven? Will we work in heaven? Will we all have the same joy in heaven? These are just a few of the questions answered in Heaven, an Amazing Place. When you sow your seed of $25 or more to the Journey Network, we want to send you this exciting book as our gift of appreciation. Please call or text today to get your copy. And make sure to ask for offer A-26. The text number is 251-654-5573. You can also call 1-833-963-5433. Or you can visit journeynetwork.live. God bless you. Hey friends, we want to invite you to keep up with all of the exciting things going on with the Journey Network on social media. Be sure to follow us on Facebook at Journey Network or on Instagram at J3 Media. You can also visit us on journeynetwork.live or download the J3 Radio app to keep up with your favorite music. Or check out the J3 Media YouTube channel for full-length interviews, longer clips, and so much more. You don't want to miss a single thing that's going on over there, so make sure to turn your notifications on and tell somebody else about it so you can sow encouraging content into other people's lives, including your own.
I don't know if you remember Laverne Tripp.
I know the name.
He was a great songwriter, singer back in the TBN days. We recently did a documentary on his life.
Oh, wow.
Great soul winner. They have written down from all the years on TBN, the crusades he did, whatever. Nothing to the magnitude that Jimmy Swaggart did, because you're talking about a great guy on TV versus an icon, right?
Yeah.
So when Laverne died, they had 2 million documented cases. Now, I'm not going into were they real? Did
Sure,
they?
sure.
Not, that doesn't matter.
That don't matter. Yeah. I'm with you on that.
I heard Billy Graham say one time they asked him how many. He said 1/4.
Yeah.
He said because the Bible says that out of the 4, only 1 fell on the right ground.
Right.
Do y'all have an idea?
I don't. I really don't.
Yeah.
I know that. I the only thing that I can say, because you have to factor in television with that. I can tell you this. Let's isolate one country.
Okay.
When we went on television, my grandfather went on television in the former Soviet Union.
Mm-hmm.
We had documented over 1 million letters. 1 million letters.
Letters, handwritten.
Handwritten, of people who have gotten saved.
Jeez.
In the former Soviet Union.
Wow.
In 2 years. Just 2 years. Over 1 million. You factor in 50 years of television.
Yeah.
And I mean, I remember in Crusades, you see it on the classic Crusades, he was in one country and 28,000 people responded to salvation in one service. 28,000. Wow. So I would not say how many. I couldn't even dare to say, but it's multiplied millions of people.
Multitudinous.
Multiplied multiplicities of multitudinous people.
That's it, right? You got
and that's a word, that's a phrase I don't ever want to say. But
oh man,
I don't know. I just have to say it's a lot.
And I totally agree with that. And
I don't mean to cut you off.
No.
Billy Graham said this one time. When Larry King asked him on one of his shows.
Yes, I know what you're. Yeah.
He asked him. He said, Reverend Graham, how does it feel to be the one person that's won more people to Christ than anybody in history?
Yeah.
And he looked at him. He said, I would not know. He said, you'd have to ask Brother Swaggart.
Yeah.
He's won more people to Christ than anybody that I've ever met.
Yeah.
And that's a testament.
Sure, absolutely. And that was in his heart. I think I can't remember if it was you that said this. I wanted to come to the service, mm-hmm. but I had to speak for my pastor, mm-hmm. and he came and I didn't. So, Pastor Rogers, I'm gonna put that on you, brother.
Joe is a good man.
He is. He's a great man. But anyway, so I can't remember because I was watching. I went back and watched it on YouTube, but I think maybe it was you that said his last words were,
Honey,
Francis,
get ready, it's time to go to church.
It's time to go to church.
Think about that. That's his last words. That day, Father's Day, for me will never be the same.
Sure.
That's my grandmother for about a year and a half. She would call me when he would fall. Sure. Something would happen. Sure. I'd have to go and help pick him up or what have you. And that could be in the middle of the night, 3 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning.
Sure.
Whatever. And that Sunday morning at 8 a.m. she called. And the tone in her voice was different. Mm-hmm. And I'll never forget a word she said to me, Gabe, your grandfather's passed out and I can't wake him up. And I ran over to her house. I live right next door to her. I ran over to her house. And I saw him, and in my mind I'm thinking, like, he's gone. But I think the Lord gave him back to us for a period of about 2 weeks, just so we could all have some closure.
Sure.
And we lived at that hospital for 2 weeks. My grandmother never left his side except to come home and change clothes every morning. And we were there all day, every day. And just that day, that moment was just, it's just difficult.
Yeah. But to know that the last thing he spoke was going
Got to go to church.
to church.
That was his life.
Yeah.
That was his life. I mean, that was his call. That's what he did. That's what he lived for. And he just, it was his time.
Yeah.
And I always ask the question, why? I talk to my grandmother about it all the time, and we both question, why did it have to happen right now?
Sure.
There was,
Sure.
we feel like there was still much more he could do, but we know also that God's sovereign.
That's right.
And he knows
That's
what he's
right.
doing, and we can't. It's really not up to us to question it.
Yeah.
It's just up to trust him.
Yeah.
We have to trust him.
I asked the guys in the studio yesterday, Monday night. It's been a long couple of days.
Yeah.
I said, please tell me one of your favorite Jimmy Swaggart stories. Tell me.
You'd be there for hours doing that.
Yeah, and one of the guys said he was a workhorse.
He was.
Said the man would work circles around
Oh, he
us.
would.
He didn't.
He never stopped.
He had a reason to.
Oh, yeah. Never stopped.
He was always trying to go and tell one more soul.
That's right.
What's your favorite Jimmy Swaggart song?
Oh, my favorite song. There's so many of them, but I would have to say the one that means the most to me is "I'm on My Way to Heaven," and because that was his song for the last several years of his life.
Wow.
Whenever I would have him sing it, I've had my ups and downs, sorrows and frowns to pass my way, but I've paid no attention. Dropped the contention, no time to stay. Problems weight you down, cause sunny skies to turn to gray, but then he would say, that's all right, because I'm on my way to heaven.
Amen.
The journey gets sweeter every day. And right after he passed, I was in my car. I was going to work out, and I'm sitting in traffic and wasn't going anywhere. So I opened up my phone and I pulled open YouTube, and the first video that came up was from the Celebration of Life service, and it was that song, and it was me having him sing it.
Yeah.
And I'm listening to it, and all of a sudden it hit me. I'll never hear him sing it again live.
Yeah.
And I'll never be able to turn around and ask him to sing that verse that meant so much to him.
Yeah.
That was almost his life.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it just hit me in a way that I have not been able to have our singers sing it. And a few Sunday nights ago, I was taking up the offering, and Brian started singing that song, and it hit me, and I turned away from the crowd because I'm about to lose it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm about to lose it. My wife, she said, I couldn't look at you. Martha was telling, she said, I couldn't look at you because I was going to start crying. And everybody was looking away from me because I'm trying to look away from the crowd, and they're all seeing me, and I'm about to lose it. And I texted Brian. I said, thank you for singing that song. I said, it was hard to hear it.
Yeah.
And then he told me this. He said, this is unlike Brian, so I know it was the Lord.
Yeah.
He said, I always have a song ready to go. And he said, for the first time in my life since I've been here, I had nothing.
Wow.
Nothing. I couldn't think of anything.
Yeah.
And he said, the moment you turned, that was the first thing that popped out. And I'm like,
wow.
that was the Lord that was
him.
helping me through it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's amazing. And what a great song.
Oh, I love that song.
What a great song.
Walt Mills wrote it, and he had his own little spin, but Papa turned it into his own.
Well, of course, yeah. What do you think maybe the story is that's being written by God? Because I don't know that there's ever been another family that has accomplished so much musically.
Oh, yeah.
Than your grandfather's. I mean, what? You have Jerry Lee, who obviously just blew the rock and roll world apart.
Yes,
and then Mickey Gilley with the Urban Cowboy, it flipped country music upside down.
Sure did.
And then your grandfather comes along and
did the same in gospel music.
Yeah, and did the same in gospel music. And then you and your father, you come along and just preaching machines. And there's a story here, I think, that's bigger than what people see.
I don't know. I really don't. I just know that we're doing what God's called us to do.
Yeah.
I had an interesting email came my way about a month or two ago from the daughter of Ike Turner.
Oh, wow.
Remember Ike Turner, Tina Turner?
Yeah.
She wrote me and she said, I've been watching y'all for a while. And she said, you can't tell me that you can't sing. And I laughed and I was like, not a chance. But then she wrote, she says, for you not to be able to sing, but to be able to lead your church in congregational worship, and always flow and know where to go and know the direction to go, you've got to have some musical talent in you. And I kind of laughed. I didn't respond to her, but I just kind of laughed, and I told my wife, I said, you know, I don't know. She may think it. I can tell you right now, if God wanted me to have it, I would have it, but I don't have it. But my grandfather paid me one of the highest compliments that I've ever received from him. And a couple years ago, he called me on a Sunday afternoon, and he said, man, he said, I just want to tell you, he said, I've been watching you the last 5, 7, 8 years as you've been leading the services. And he said, there's a lot of times whenever you get up there and the choir's getting done singing. And he said, in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, I wish that he would go to this song, and you'd be right there. Wow. And like you'd pull out that song and tell the congregation, and you know where to go.
We are so glad you have been with us for this program. Our prayer is that today's show has been a blessing and an encouragement to you and your walk with the Lord. This ministry is continually reaching out to spread the good news of Jesus Christ to all the world. We need your love gifts and prayers to help keep this ministry on the air 24 hours a day. So call us at 1-833-963-5433 or write us at Journey Network, P.O. Box 1420, Atmore, Alabama 36504. Or you can contact us online at journeynetwork.live. If you would like to have JT come speak to your church, conference, or event, please visit our website and go to the Event Scheduling tab. Thank you for your continued support. And remember, God loves you, and we do too.